Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Project Ozone. Now I know this episode is coming out a day late. Now I do apologize, the reason being is that Thursday when I woke up, my left hand, basically the majority of it was numb, and I thought I'd slept on it wrong, right? So I was waiting and I was like, I mean I could still move it and everything, that's fine, but, and it wasn't in any pain, it was just numb, and so I gave it a bit, and I was thinking I'd slept on it or something like that, and it would stop and then it would come back, and it would stop and come back, and I got it checked out, and it was actually just like a nerve in my neck. Apparently, the way I'd slept that night, something about the nerve in my neck had caused the hand to go numb. Anyways, it's gone now. It was really just like a day-long thing. And, yeah. Like, at first I was like, oh man, it'd be terrible if it was carpal tunnel or something, but no, it's nothing serious. It was just, like a nerve, the way I'd slept on my neck the night before, but anyways, so I didn't record on Thursday at all. I did do a bit of prep work and stuff, but I was really, really clumsy, like on the keyboard, in comparison by hand. So I did do a bit of prep work and stuff that day, and so today I'm just basically recording a bunch. But anyways, I spent a while working on Pluto. Okay, I actually did not work on Uranus any, because I was working on Pluto, and I was also working in the asteroid belt. Now, I will show you guys Pluto today. It's nearly done for the purposes that I want at this moment. We may end up adding some additional stuff to it, but for right now, if we take a look in here, you'll notice all the fluid containers are gone. The reason for the lag, and it can't be the only reason, because the lag didn't start, right after I plugged up the fluids, but whenever I removed the fluids from the AE network, it fixed the lag. Okay, so we get a bit better FPS. We get a whole lot better FPS when we open up the AE terminals and stuff. Everything seems to be working a lot better after changing that over. So we're going to go ahead and pop on over to Pluto, and I'll show you what I've done thus far. Okay, so this is our base on Pluto at the moment. Like the exterior and everything. And we've got these nice little vents here. And basically if we pop on inside, which is, like I said, it's not totally done, but it's a good ways through. This is what I've done so far. Okay, and basically it's a very simple system where we have all the inputs for all the fluids that we handle. Okay, and they're all coming in via these ender tanks. Now there is a few different colors, like there's white, light gray, white, there's white, white, red, there's white, brown, 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 white, brown, 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 white, and then there's also white, white, white. And basically the reason I did a few of these different colors is like all the ones that involve brown, like white, brown, 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 white, brown, and then brown, brown, white, those all handle things related to our immersive engineering engines, because those are more of like a constant stream of fluids. So I just gave them dedicated ender tanks. Also, lava has its own dedicated ender tank, and white, light gray, white is it's something else. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's something. And so basically what I've done is I've added these basic drums, these 256,000 millibuckets. These are all just basically buffer drums. They pump out, and then they go to bedrockium drums. And some of these have secondary bedrockium drums. For example, plant oil. We filled up one, now we're filling up a second one. And so basically I did the buffer drum just so that I can filter on the buffer drums. And then I can just pump them out into these drums and not have to filter on each individual drum. Just makes it a little bit easier. And that way I can monitor these buffer drums. So if these buffer drums start building up a lot, we know that, okay, there's no storage for this, right? And it's that way on both sides, and then these drums pump into ender tanks. Now, I don't have these secondary bedrockium drums right now pumping into ender tanks. I will, but I just haven't done that as of yet. And right down here we have the screen controller. So right now you see it's connected to 4 screens. And just really quickly, we're going to set up one of these screens, and then we're going to move on with what we're going to be doing today. So I do have all this stuff automated, so all I got to do is order it. And then we're going to need modules. Each of these uses 4 text modules and 4 fluid modules for each of these screens. Alright, and then what we'll do, oh, I also need cyan dye. And we can just put our screen down right there, hit it with that cyan dye, and then, which it doesn't actually consume the cyan dye. And then I'm also going to need the rest of our modules here. Forgot those ones don't stack. And what we're going to do is we're going to put text module, text module, text module, come down, 3 in between it, and then put another text module. And then what we're going to do, this one, let's see, is it just one? Yeah, it's just one drum. So we're going to do fluid module right there. And that's going to give us that invalid. Let me go ahead and connect this actually. We're going to hit scan on our controller. Now it's found 5 screens that it can access. And this one screen controller should be able to access all the screens throughout this entire building. Okay? And then this one here is Zephyrian Erothian. So on this first line, we're going to put Zephyrian and hit large. So we have that nice large text there. And I tell you what, I think I'm going to do space. Yeah, it's a little bit more centered. And then Erothium, large, and yeah, we're going to space that text out as well. Okay. And then this one here, all we're going to do is we're just going to basically put a border here. So it comes out looking like that. And then this fluid module, we're going to attach it to this this drum. We're going to shift right click it. Fluid module is set to block Bedrockium drum. And throw that into here. And then we're going to say number 1 on the label. And we're going to change this over to comma format. I like the comma format myself. And there we go. So that one's set up. We do want the bar and everything. And then beneath this next text, what we're going to do is we're going to grab another fluid module. And we are going to connect it to the drum back here. Basically the buffer drum. And then what we're going to do is we'll throw it in there. We're going to say buffer. And then we're going to set this to millibuckets percentage. So it comes out like that. So now at a glance we can see how full the buffer tanks are. And you know, if we need to do something with that fluid or whatever, you know, we can see it all here. Now I'm thinking about setting up a system that will alert us when certain drums are filled. Maybe we need to do something with it or whatever. However, I will say that we're going to basically redo all of our cows very, very soon. We're at the point now, you know, everything's kind of moving into more permanent placement. Originally, I had planned for the fluid room to be the permanent placement for the fluids. But since we had to change it over, and I wanted to do a little bit more with it since we couldn't connect it to our AE system within this pack without, you know, all the lag, then I decided, okay, well, we're just going to set it up over here, and we're going to redo everything with it. Add the screens and whatnot. That's pretty much what I've done here on Pluto. Let me go ahead and put this block back. Actually, I'm probably going to leave that block out. We'll set that there. I just basically right now I've got to go through and do all the screens and all the formatting and stuff for that. You can see this one actually has both drums connected, so both of these. Basically, drum number 1 is the bottom one, 2, and then 3. So it's actually reversed from the way the drums are sitting. I might change that over and have it actually, you know, top to bottom on this, but I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. So right now most of them only have one drum anyway, so it's not really a big concern. I also worked in the asteroid belt a little bit. I'm not going to take you guys over there just yet. It's far from done, and I kind of want it to be a surprise. I'm happy with the theme that's going on, but there's no actual teleporters or anything set up there. I will show you, actually, one thing I forgot to show you on Pluto. is we will be changing over our teleportation system moving forward. Since I have had the crashes in the past with the mechanism ones, basically I'm going to redo all of that as well. A lot of redoing at this point to fix things where we've had issues and stuff like that. But back here I did make one of these. I haven't actually connected it up, but it's basically just draconium infused obsidian and dislocator receptacle. All this stuff is very easy, very, very easy to craft. The draconium infused obsidian is just draconium dust, blaze powder, and obsidian. Very, very cheap. And the dislocator receptacles are draconic cores, draconium infused obsidian, iron, and dislocator pedestal. So, very, very cheap. Next episode, we will be setting that stuff up. I should have the asteroid belt situated to the point where we're going to start actually plugging up teleports to the asteroid belt and using that as kind of an in-between, basically our teleporter hub. In addition, I made another checklist for us. We have our to-do list, that we had. I also added automate souls to it. And then we also have Project United Colonies. This is a lot of stuff that we'll be working on over the next few episodes, trying to finalize these bases, connect them all to a central mainframe, because I've started removing, I removed the fluid room. We're starting to cut down on things in the overworld because it's just not possible with the stuff that we're doing and the scale that we're doing things in and the lag that came from doing those things. It's just not logical to have them all in one central location. It just doesn't work. It seems to be working better with our separated space bases and then having them all, connect together instead of having it all in one spot. So, we have Project United Colonies. This is stuff that we're going to be working on, trying to finalize bases. A lot of that's going to happen once we get the, the neutronium collection going and stuff like that that we're kind of waiting on. But we have all the current planned planets in here. So, for example, our space station is Galacticraft Hub, right? And it's Cobble Gen as well. That base still needs a bit of work because I'm actually going to add in a couple additional floors to that and a couple additional things to it. Also, rebuild the whole rocket ship section has to be redone due to the larger launch pads. We have Moon, which is, of course, lasers and stocking. We have Mars, which is oxygen and mining. These two aren't too far from being done, but there is a couple small things. The Moon is mainly just, I have to remember to go back in the configs and fix that. Mercury is ore processing. Venus is automation. Jupiter will be power. Saturn is storage center. Uranus mob prison. Neptune is the core for our galactic empire. Pluto is liquid storage. Ceres is going to be farming. Eris is AE2 mainframe. Kepler is cow milking. Asteroids is the teleport hub. Is my intended plan, but we will, like I said, we'll probably add some additional moons and stuff. I decided we're going to move away from this base. The reason being, not entirely, we're going to keep it, and I'm going to keep working on it, but we're going to start kind of spreading things into space a bit more, because the problem I ran into with this base is things evolved so much and so rapidly within this base. First we were just centered up here, and it was like, okay, we've got this little section here. But then it was like, okay, well, we're going to need a lot more room for everything that we're doing, so I added this additional part. Then I discovered, well, we can't have all this additional part because the lag's too heavy. And, I planned, like, up here, for example, was automation. Well, the lasers ended up getting moved out. Now this whole section has to be redone, and all this stuff. It just became a huge mess. And such a big, like, cluster of just stuff going on and stuff changing and just a hub job. The whole hub teleport room has to be expanded, and the mechanism teleporters are crashing, so that has to be redone. So I decided, well, we're going to go ahead and start spreading a bit more into space than what we've done thus far, and whatnot. And I think it'll work out better because this place has become just an utter headache. Fixing the AE2 stuff and getting rid of the fluid did help a lot with that. But, yeah, it's still a mess. Now, over here, we've got 2 neutronium ingots, 3 nuggets, 2 piles of neutrons so far, off of one of these neutron collectors. Also, it completed the quest. I did turn those in. I wasn't thinking. I turned them in. Didn't get anything good. So, but just a heads up, those are turned in now. Over here, we have plenty of dark iron. thus far. And crystal matrix ingots. Some of these actually didn't get balanced. That's okay. I'll balance them later. But the dark iron, we have enough of that. So anyways, with that, let's go ahead and jump into what we're actually going to be doing today, and that is focusing on the mob prison area. I want to work on Vibrantium will be the first thing. We need that now. After that's done, then we'll switch our attention to automating souls, and if we have time, we'll automate zombie heads as well. Those are the three major things that's going to be going into the prison, and I want to get that stuff done ASAP. So, let's go ahead and get into the mob prison stuff. First off, I am going to go ahead and grab this grinder. I do want that. Also, this attractor obelisk. I'm going to pull out the pink slime and the beetle. Why can I not pick this up? Okay. There we go. We'll grab that, because we are going to want to use that. And then the next thing that I want to do is I want to get some Reaper 5 enchantments. Basically, I'm going to want to duplicate it and all of that using Bibliocraft, the typesetting table. So let's just go for the enchantment, right? First up. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a bunch of diamond swords. We'll grab a few of those. And then let me get my experience obelisk. And I could have swore we had an enchanting table, but I can't find the thing anymore. So we're just going to grab one of those. Disenchanter from Draconic Evolution, we're also going to want that. Yeah, I'll just grab one. Alright. And I think we're just going to set it up like right here. That should be... How is it not going to pull from these? Those are too far away. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'm just going to pull these off. It's not like the things are running right now. It shuts off anytime I, like, exit the game. Alright, so now we should have level 30 enchants. We do. And let's go ahead, sit down on our experience obelisk. Let me grab 30 levels. It's so weird coming back to, like, the 1.7 enchanting. First up, we have knockback 2 and sharpness. Don't want that. And what I'm going for is Reaper 5. Don't want that. There's Reaper 3. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up the Disenchanter. There is Bane of Arthropods 4. There is Reaper 3. Okay. Unbreaking 3 and Looting 3. Which I will... Let me actually grab a chest. Later on, I'll pull all the enchantments off of all this stuff. So that we've got it, but... You know, if we need enchantments or something, we'll have them. But right now, my primary concern is just our Reaper enchantment. Reaper 4 on this one. Okay, so we're getting there. And I think if we ever get, like, the same... Like, I would love to get another, like, Reaper 4 right now. Oh, there's another Reaper 4. Okay. So we're about to give this a shot. Let me go ahead and grab, like, I don't know, 20 levels. I know it takes a little bit of XP to... Not quite that much, I don't think, to combine them together, but... Yeah. There's Reaper 5. 7 levels. That's just a visual bug. Okay, so we got our Reaper 5 enchant. Really didn't take that long. And then what we'll do is we're just going to use the typesetting table. I'll put this right into there. Let me get... was it 30 levels or 40 levels? I think it's 40 levels. I don't know. It's been a little while since we've used this, actually. And then shift right click. Yeah, it's 40 levels. We'll put this into the printing press. I'm also going to need some books. Let me actually just order a bunch of books. Yes, give me 40 books. Alright. Put those into there, and that's going to start running. And we'll get copies of our Reaper 5 enchant. Woot! And basically, I'm going to want a weapon, you know, that has this, so I can go out and get some souls right now. Because I did do some testing, and originally I was planning on using Mine Factory Reloaded to spawn the villagers, right? Well, that doesn't work, in fact. It does not work. Put that in there, so we always have an extra copy of that. They won't go into safari nets. They will not go into spawners or anything like that. But what we can do is get a soul from them and use draconic evolution to spawn them. And we're at the point now where that's not really a problem. You know, we're starting to get into draconic evolution. Honestly, the stabilized mob spawners aren't even hard to get or expensive at all anyways. So I think actually inside of our prison base, instead of using Ender IO, where I have to feed it power and all of that, I think we're just going to use draconic evolution for all of our spawners. Okay, so let's get ourselves some kind of actually our eviscerator would work. I imagine I can put that on it as an enchantment. No, it will not enchant. Okay, well, good to know. Then I suppose we might move away from that then. And we'll probably go with draconic evolution weapons. So let's take a look at... I know we're not going to be able to make the draconic sword. Well, technically... I'll go with the wyvern one for right now, because I don't think I have enough souls to summon the dragon again. No, I only have 3 souls right now. After today, that should be fixed. We shouldn't have a problem with souls moving forward. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a sword of the wyvern. There we go. We'll set that in there. It's going to start charging. I'm just going to shift all this stuff down. I'll set that up there. And let me see what the controls are for draconic evolution at the moment. Okay. I'm going to change that over. And we're going to select this one. We're going to say that you're going to have Reaper 5. And then we also have space for 4 other enchants. Let me grab some of these books that are in here that we pulled off. We've got like sharpness. Do we have a sharpness 5? Honestly, the sharpness 4 will be fine for right now. And I'll just take this Bane of Arthropods too, because we'll change it later on, but I'm not too worried. I don't want to spend a ton of time messing with enchantments and all that, because this stuff really... Technically, it's better than our eviscerator, but... Okay, so we've got our new sword. It's got Reaper 5. We're going to have a better chance to get souls. Now what we need to do is I need a bunch of villagers. I need a bunch of them. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to get ourselves a syringe. We've made one of these in the past to go kill the Ender Dragon. I'm going to want one of those. And let's go find ourselves a villager. Actually, I've got this one right inside the soul vial, right? So maybe, I don't know if this one will be enough. We'll just attack him with it. Hey! He's not happy about it. Okay, that's not enough blood, though. So let me go find a village. Actually, there's one right over here that I think still has villagers in it. Okay, there we go. Yep, your soul is mine. Alright, we have 100% essence for villagers now. Now what I'm going to do is the rest of the villagers in this town, I'm just going to go ahead and kill them off with this sword with Reaper on it. And you never know, we might get lucky. Basically, this is what we got to do, is we have to kill a bunch of villagers, try to get our soul. That seems to be all of them. Now, you could also... I guess if you wanted to, you could spawn zombie villagers and then change them over, but that's a little bit overcomplicated, I think. We can easily do this with draconic evolution. Okay, so now what we need to do is we're going to have to turn this into a dimlet. And we're going to have to start getting into rftools and... Oh no. Stop it. We're going to have to start getting into rftools and creating... We have to create a dimension to use. So what I want to do is... Actually, isn't there like a whole quest line dedicated to this? I think there is, and I think what we're on right now, they want us to make a dimlet researcher. Is it Zeta? Ada? Theta? There we go. Yeah, we'll go ahead and work through this rftools quest line then. I do believe. So let's get ourselves a dimlet researcher. And the only thing I'm missing is a machine frame. I think, yes, we can craft those. There we go, dimlet researcher. And we'll grab our reward bag. Modular storage, we've already done that. We'll go ahead, grab that. Storage module. We never crafted a tier 2, really? I'm going to do that just so that we can turn that quest in. And then we'll grab this reward bag. Okay, so we've already knocked through a big chunk of this. And let's go ahead and see what we got. We have a basic with an advanced bin. We have a greater with junk. And we have an epic with 2 printed circuit boards. Well, I can't say that I liked this reward. Okay, so since we've got the dimlet researcher, I'm pretty sure we have a lot of... Yeah, we have... Is it just 2003 dimlets? Yes, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, let's get ourselves an export bus. Let's get like 2 acceleration cards. And we'll set this up somewhere for right now so we can get this basically scanning all of our dimlets for us. It would, you know, it would come in handy. And I think for right now, we're going to set it up right here. Just a very, very temporary spot. And put the export bus. Because like I said, I'm in the middle of moving things. I don't mind. Oh, that's an ore dictionary. I don't want that. Let me get... where's my wrench at? Okay. There's our standard export bus. Throw that on there. And we're going to say that you can export unknown dimlets, acceleration cards. And then let me get some... energy conduits. Let me get some item conduits. Let me get... do I want to use a chest or do I think I wanted to use a modular storage, actually. Go ahead and grab one of those. Let's grab a tier 3 storage module. And we'll get that plugged in. So it's going to start running through these dimlets. See, we just got a digit 5 dimlet. And then I'm just going to pump these out. We'll say extracts always active. Throw our tier 3 storage module into there and say that you can insert. Okay, so it's going to start pulling all this stuff out and getting us some dimlets that we can use. Okay, we've actually got one modular storage that's filled with dimlets right now. This one is just about filled. And I went ahead and made another modular storage up here. This way we can kind of figure out... I'll go ahead and pull this one out, actually. Because these dimlets will stack. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put this modular storage that's, you know, about filled in here. And this is just set to extract always active. This one's set to a priority of 10. This one's 9. This one's 8. So basically anything that'll stack, it's going to dump it into here first. Then any overflow that doesn't stack into this one's going to come to this one. And then if this one fills up, then it'll go over here. Okay, so that way we don't end up with modular storage with a bunch of the same dimlets all over the place and stuff. Okay, so... And I was just kind of seeing if we got maybe a villager dimlet or something, but we haven't been getting it. The quest book actually has us going... Let's see, in Theta... They've got us going straight to the Dimension Inscriber, the Dimension Builder, all that stuff. But we are going to first make ourselves a dimlet workbench. Let me actually pull this up in here. Let me get a machine frame. Alright, dimlet workbench. What all do we need for this? We just need one crafting table. That is easy enough. Just order it. And there we go. Dimlet workbench. Now we get to use the syringe that we made. We're just going to set it up. Okay. But anyways, what we need to do is we need to put in pieces. First, we're going to have to break down some dimlets. So let's get ourselves... snowman dimlet. Mom default dimlet. Okay, it actually won't do the default dimlet, but we'll go ahead and extract the snowman dimlet. And it's going to take a second to run. Okay, we've got a couple of those. What is the... Let me actually look it up, because I'm going to have to see what rarity and stuff the villager dimlet is that we want. It's a rarity of 5. Okay. Okay, do we have anything that is a rarity 5? I will say I like the crafting, the dimlet, the way the dimlets work in 1.10 a bit more. We got a special efficiency dimlet. I really don't want to deconstruct that one, honestly. I may actually have to deconstruct that though, since I'm not really finding any other tier 5s. They may be craftable, but honestly it's been so long since I've done anything with RF tools in 1.7 that I'm used to the 1.10. Okay, so we got our rarity 5 now. No more special efficiency, but that's okay. And then our mob type controller goes here. Our syringe goes right here. Our advanced energy module will go right there. This right here is, oh yeah, we need a dimlet base part right there. And then that other one, let me break some stuff down. It needs to be higher rarity, like 4-ish to get the advanced. 3 or 4, I think, but, what was that? Health boost? Yeah, I don't really need health boost, so we're going to break that one down. I can't remember what that part is. Memory unit. Okay. So that will make a mob villager dimlet. So you need the dimlet base part, the control circuit rarity 5, the advanced energy module, advanced memory unit, mob type controller, and the syringe. Okay. So we'll go ahead and grab that, and we just got small step to a big world, Dr. Dimlet, all those parts, and Dimlet Master. Okay. And what all do we have here? Okay. That works. Maybe we have another special efficiency. No, I'm not seeing any. We kind of lucked out because normally the tier 5s, I don't think they come all that. Oh, I just keep filling up my inventory with these things. I hate the way scroll wheel pulls things out of this. Anyways, I think we kind of lucked out on that. Normally those things don't come, tier 5s don't generally come from dimlets, from my recollection anyways. Okay, well we got our dimlet, so the next part is we're actually going to follow the quest line a little bit here and get some of these things. So I'm going to go ahead and order like 5 machine frames, because we are going to need these things. And we are going to need the dimension inscriber. First up, what are we missing on this? Paper stack and electrotine, which isn't a big deal. I can make that fairly easily. I'll just go ahead and order like 100 of that. Oops, wrong. There we go. Dimension inscriber. And then we'll go ahead and grab that. They're going to give us an empty dimension tab and a chance cube. Awesome. Next up, the dimension builder. It's starting to storm here, so if you hear the thunder, that's what's going on. It's like always storming here anymore, it seems like. We got a basic reward bag too. We'll go ahead and pop that. Basic bin. Awesome. I think that's what, my second one this episode. Alright, dimension builder. Not all that expensive. I am going to need ender diamonds, 2 of those, and a player core. Okay. So there's our dimension builder. We'll go ahead and grab that reward bag. We have a greater reward bag. Golden apples. Then they want us to get a matter receiver and then a matter transmitter. So let's go ahead. Matter transmitter. Matter receiver. And we'll get reward bag. Reward bag. Come on, give us like another chaos ingot or something. We got a good one with a quantum entropy accelerator, and we have a basic with heart glass. Okay. And then next up they want us to get an empty dimension tab. We've already got one technically, but I'll make another one, whatever. And we'll take this reward bag. Another basic, awesome. With the dirt chest. Okay. Oh, they gave us a charged porter. I was like, wait, what is that? I didn't make that. And then they want us to get 64 dimensional shards. I don't think I have any. No, I do not. Okay. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to set up our dimension inscriber And I'm actually just going to set up some conduits here. Right now is going to be our temporary RF tools. This is eventually going to be moved. Because we're going to start using, in the nearest future, we're going to start using a lot more RF tools stuff. But it'll probably be set up on the asteroid belt long term. But for right now, that place isn't done yet. So, dimension inscriber there. We'll put our dimension builder right here. The inscriber, we'll put our mob villager dimlet. We're going to try this without... Wow, this thing uses up so much power. 14 million RF per tick. Okay. So much energy. So there's that. We could possibly have... Let's see. If we gave ourselves poison... I'll tell you what. Let's give ourselves mining fatigue. 3. That's going to cut our maintain cost down by 200,000. Hunger 2. Yeah, we'll give it to that. We'll give ourselves that. It looks like that's the main. Let's see what it would be like. Maintain cost is... Oh, it's not terrible. 1.4 million now. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's try one other thing. Wait, it's the effect. I mean, I could give myself poison 3. I really don't want to do that, though. Slowness. Hunger, mining fatigue. Oh, I could do slowness. We'll go ahead and do slowness 3. Moving fast isn't really that big of a deal. And so now if we stored this, we're looking at only 1.8 million per tick. We're getting there. Okay. Okay, so that's what we'll do. We'll set it at that. That's fine. And then I'm also going to want some... I don't want to deal with mountains or something like that. So let's get... Okay, let's go with... Ooh, terrain flat is 80,000. Okay, so if we did terrain flat, we'd be looking at... It actually went down. So it's 1.4 million RF per tick. Okay. Well, you know what? I have... As long as I move quickly, because I don't plan on running this constant... Jupiter is set up with plenty of power. Yeah, we're just going to move this over to Jupiter for right now. I think is what we're going to do. Okay, so... Let me get one thing here. The Advanced Energy Transceiver. Let's grab one of those. And then let's head on over to Jupiter. That's the other side. I think this would be the best way to do it, actually. And what we'll do is we'll set this up for right now, right here. Long term, we won't have this here, but I don't mind. We'll connect that up. And we'll throw that into there. Even though those just can't move enough power, can they? Well, I have cryo-stabilized flux ducts. Let's try those. I guess it's because maybe those can't actually move that much in this pack. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay, I mean it's draining power from this, but that's okay. We're actually dropping on power a little bit right now. But basically, I mean, it's feeding in as much power as that thing can accept at the moment. And let's go ahead and set our matter transmitter. We'll set our matter transmitter down right here. All this is just temporary stuff. And we're also going to need a dialing device. I'm surprised they didn't have us make one of those. So, dialing device. I'm going to need one redstone torch. I'm also going to need some red alloy ingots. So let me order a few of those. Let's say 30 of them. And there we go. There's our dialing device. And I'm just going to put this down like right here. And we're going to go ahead and link these up real quick. Okay. Is that the name of it? ID 7? Yeah, it's created, so that must be it. We're going to dial those two together, and there we go. And let's see, is our dimension... Yeah, we are running negative in power right now. At a fairly decent amount, actually. So let's go ahead and do this, because it's probably going to take a minute, and I want to get back before we drain out our system. But luckily, that thing's filled. It's a lot of power, you know, so it's not too bad. Okay. Achievement, get the world moved. Alright, so we are in an Ice Plains Spikes dimension. And we are looking for villagers. Oh, well, look at all these, like, debuffs, slowness. I mean, we still move at a fairly fast rate. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to adjust this. I'm going to turn off all of these except for show villagers. And I need to do that for the mini-map as well. Okay, I'll tell you what, that's not spawning like any villagers. I'm going to pull this out. Okay, so maybe villagers will still only spawn in villages. I mean, I don't know for sure, but like, I feel like villagers have been changed very, very heavily within this pack. I mean, I didn't find a single village or villager at all. So I'll tell you what, let's go with structure village dimlet. We're going to go ahead and grab that. And that's actually got a lower maintain cost. I wonder if I could get... Let me see something here. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and grab a plains biome dimlet as well. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's do biome plains with single controller. Okay, so basically there can only be a plains biome. It's all going to be flat. Mob villagers. Oh, I'll tell you what, instead of having the mob villager one, we're just going to do a village structure dimlet. And let's see, this only costs 13,610. That's actually not too bad. Okay, we're going to try this instead of the mob villager. Because they just weren't spawning as mobs at all. So this might work out a bit better. Just having lots of villages. Because since it's going to be plains, it's going to be flat. I mean, the villages can spawn literally like everywhere. So this might work out a bit better. And really, I could pull off the effects off of this dimlet, or this tab, dimension tab, but honestly, we don't really need to. I mean, it's all stuff, it doesn't really impact me at all. So, I just need to find some villagers and start killing them en masse to make a spawner, right? Okay, so there we go. We got our dimension now. And let's go ahead and dial it. So this, ID8, dial, and we'll go ahead and pop through it and see what our new dimension is like. Now there is actually a peaceful dimlet I could make so that, you know, basically no mobs could spawn. It would just be, oh yeah, I didn't think about all these fluid cows that would be spawning. That's perfect. Okay, here we go. Now we're starting to find villages. And so what I want to do is I just want to run around and murder all these guys until we get our dimlet. Let me grab this. Go ahead and kick that on. I'm afraid not. Oh, wow. There's a lot of villagers in this place, actually. Alright. Well, I'm going to continue looking for villages and killing all the villagers. Of course, we're aiming to get a soul, but it might take a little bit to get this, honestly. So, I'll be back in just a bit, hopefully. Okay, I actually just got my mob soul. It was like the second village. And we got it. So, okay, awesome. Now let's head on back to Jupiter. I'm going to go ahead and shut down that dimension. We don't really need it. I guess the whole, like, mob dimlet wasn't really that useful for us. Generally, if you use, like, a mob dimlet, you're going to see a lot more of that mob spawning. I mean, you'll still have the standard mobs, but you will have a lot more of the mob type that you specify spawning. We're going to say on to activate. Okay, yeah, it's draining the power out of that. It's not giving it any more power. Awesome, that's what I want. Okay, so let's pop on back over to the overworld. And now the next thing that we need is we need a draconic core. So let me order... let me go ahead and get like 4, 5, 6 of these, I guess. Yeah, we'll do 6 of them, and then let's head on over to Pluto since there is a dungeon like right next to where we're at. I think this can be used on Galactic Craft spawners and stuff. I mean, normally I use like blaze spawners or something for this, but I really don't foresee any problem with using Galactic Craft spawners. I don't think that would really change it at all. Oh. There we go. There's 1. There's 2. So we're getting stabilized mob spawners. Okay, that's what we want. And these things do stack, which is great. This just got a whole lot easier. Like, mobs and everything in general just got a lot easier. Okay. Too bad it doesn't shut off the spawner whenever you do that. Okay, so we have 6 stabilized mob spawners. Wonderful. And I'm going to go ahead and deactivate that. Let me dump all this like random junk we're getting. I don't know why I ran out of that. I can just teleport from here, from anywhere. But for right now, we're going to set this up in a temporary spot in the overworld. That's due to the fact that I don't currently have oxygen on Uranus. So I don't want to set it up over there just yet. This would be the only mob-related thing that would have oxygen in the prison. So I'll tell you what, let's grab ourselves some glass. I'm also going to want not a mechanical... what is it? Can I get like a autonomous activator? Okay. 2 redstone reception coils. Then we're going to need copper chest and our autonomous activator. Awesome. And then I'm also going to want... actually, that's the main thing. I can get started with that and then do the rest of it. Because basically I'm going to want to plug it up to my AE system. And just bear in mind, I mean, all this is temporary. So I'm just going to put it right over here, I think. And what we'll do is we'll just put glass around this segment. And I guess we'll just put it down right here. Yeah, it's probably going to maybe spawn off in that room. That's fine, I guess. Okay. And technically, you wouldn't normally do this simply because you're not going to be able to pick the soul back up. But I can get back in here with the villagers. I mean, like I said, it only took me like maybe 20 villager kills to get this. So it's not really that big of a deal. And we'll just put this down just like that. And then let me capture one of these guys in a soul vial. There we go. So we got a... No, we got a... There we go. There's our villager soul. Okay. And then we'll put down our autonomous activator. Let me go ahead and rotate this. Okay, maybe this one. Okay, there we go. Autonomous activator is facing in towards the villagers. And then what I want to do is set up an attractor obelisk. We'll put it like right here, I think. And we're going to put a villager soul into this. So all the villagers start running over towards this. Then what I want to do is... Can I not set the sides on this? Oh, it doesn't have the augment to do that. Well, actually, you know what? Output, that's the side that I want it to be on anyway. So it's not really a big concern. Well, let's see. It's top is input. Okay, never mind. This is fine. We will leave this alone. We actually don't need that, I guess. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to set item conduits in like that. We're going to say that you can insert, and we're going to bring that down and around. And I guess I need to connect this into a cable line. Oh my gosh, these villagers drive me insane. Let me get a muffler. Let me get like 2 of these things. I hate villagers so much. There we go. Oh my god. Okay, I tell you what, I've got that dense yellow line. I'm just gonna use that. Let me go ahead and order like another 20 of these, I guess. No, not dense, standard. And then we'll just bring this up. Okay. And then what I want to do is let's get an interface. There's that. And then a chest. There's that. And then I'm also going to want just a filter. Just a standard one is fine. There's that. And then one last thing that I'm going to want, and that is a soul vial. I don't think these are automated. No, they are not. Okay. We're going to put our interface down right here. We're going to put our chest down right here. And import. We'll just bring this down like that. We're going to say that you can extract, then you can insert. And then right here, what we're going to do is we're going to pull it out through that connection. Whoops, I just broke something there. And we're going to disable that connection. Let's go ahead and hit this one with a wrench. Like that. And then basically what I want it to do is whenever it gets done, I want it to insert right into the interface. And then we'll just set up our interface to face the chest. Okay. And then right here, I want this to have a filter on the extract. We are going to blacklist, match metadata, blacklist soul vial, empty soul vials. Okay. And round robin, aim level, not sneaking, right click. Okay, sounds good. Now I just need to give these 2 power. And we're going to do that with, I guess, draconic evolution. Or actually, do I have a power cable somewhere close? Actually, I know that I do. If I bring my power cables over to right here, and we'll just connect that in. Okay, so all the villagers start coming, and this is going to try to click. Now, of course, it can't at the moment. So what we're going to do then is we're going to set up a recipe. I've already taught it how to make Vibrantium, right? But I haven't taught it how to make soul vials and how to get soul vials filled with villagers. So what I want to do is I want to teach you a quick recipe here. Say this is how you make a soul vial. And we'll go ahead and throw this into the molecular transformer. And then I'm going to say processing pattern. And if you take 1 soul vial and you send it to this autonomous activator. There we go. It just got a villager soul. Can it not pull that out? It cannot. Okay, what if I told it whitelisted villager soul vials? Okay, you know what? I'm going to need a better filter. Okay, and we're going to say whitelist, match metadata, match MBT, yeah. And you can only accept villager souls. Okay. So, for example, if I was to dump off one of these villagers, had an empty soul vial here, throw that into there, it's not going to pull it out, but as soon as, well, we are going to extract with a blacklist only soul vials, match all that stuff. Okay, so if I put a soul vial in there, there we go. Okay, now it's working. We just have to blacklist. It doesn't want to correctly do the rest of that, but that's okay. Either way, I'm happy with it. Okay, so now we should be able to get soul vials filled with villager souls, right? So if I look here, we've got 2 villager soul vials. And I'm going to tell our recipe here, that's how you get villager souls. We're going to go ahead and encode that. And we'll throw it into this interface. Okay, so now if I went in and I tried to order, let's say a villager soul, Yeah, there we go. We can craft one. Let's order 5 of these. Okay, I'm going to throw the 2 that I have into there as well. And you can see, look at that. We are getting villager soul vials. Awesome. Okay, so now what I want to do is... let's come down here, and I'm going to need to teach it how to make that enticing crystal, right? That is in a soul binder. It takes a villager and an emerald. And that's going to get us that. With 15 levels, that's fine. Okay, so our soul binder is downstairs. Let me go grab that. And we'll just pop up here. We're going to put our soul binder down. Like right there. Then let's order... this is going to be a mess right now, but... let's get ourselves an interface. And then I'm going to put this interface down. Let's see. Let's go ahead and remove that. We'll put our interface down right there. Let's go ahead and rotate it. Put our smart cable down right here. And then I'm also going to want to feed this liquid experience, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to pop on over to Pluto. And I'm going to grab just a couple little small things here. First up, I want to get another ender tank. Okay, so let me grab one of those. And then let me get some lime dye. We'll go with 4 pieces. Okay. And we're going to set up our liquid XP line. And give it a color. Let's see. Liquid experiences. Looks like this one. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to color this white lime. Okay. And extract is always active. That's going to start filling up. Awesome. Okay, so that's really all we have to do over here. And then we're going to pop back on over to the overworld. And we're going to set up our ender tank. And for right now, we're just going to put it right on top of this soul binder. And we're going to say the color is going to be white lime. And then we're going to tell this you can pull from the top. And you can also push out the bottom. Okay. And so then all we have to do is teach this that if it takes an emerald and one of those soul vials, it's going to make it an enticing crystal. Okay, so... wrong one. Okay, now if you take one villager soul vial, you also take an emerald. Oops. You also take an emerald, and then let me get one of those soul vials, in fact. And if you run these two together, say it's getting its experience from our experience system. Oh yeah, is it not getting power from this? Yeah, it is. Okay. And you can see it just made an enticing crystal and returned the soul vial. So eventually it's not even going to craft soul vials. It's just going to use the ones that it has. Basically, it's just going to craft them for the largest order to that date that I've ever made. Alright, and that gives you an enticing crystal. So let's go ahead and just put this into the soul binder. Right here, soul binder. Okay, so now if I was to order Vibrantium, let's order 10 pieces of Vibrantium. We're missing soul vials. One available, missing 18. How do you figure? Because I've taught it how to make those. Yeah, see, it still thinks it's trying to make those soul vials because it's not getting the exact ones. Yeah, I'll tell you what we're going to do. And I'll have to play around with this because there's got to be a way to get it to read this properly. But we are going to just not even use the soul vial recipe. Instead, what we're going to do is let's get ourselves, like, give me 10 soul vials. Okay, so we've got 12 soul vials. That'll be plenty. And then what I want to do is, see, I've got item conduits. Okay, let me get, like, gray dye. No, not just 2. I want 6 gray dye. And instead of all of this, let's remove, you know, pretty much everything here. And I'll throw some of this stuff away because I don't really need all this stuff right now. Okay, so instead of it doing its items this way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that chest, put down an ender chest. Okay, so this ender chest is basically going to import into the autonomous activator. This ender chest is going to pull from the autonomous activator. Oh, it's like pulling all these random things out. And we're going to go ahead and color this one. We're going to say you are white, gray, white. And you that's inserting, there we go, I had to let that get emptied out. You are gray, white, gray. Okay. So gray, white, gray is going to receive the filled soul vials. White, gray, white is going to send out the received soul vials. And then what we'll do is we'll leave the crafter on this. Okay. So then what we'll do is we'll just change the recipe to only just take an emerald. Send an emerald and you're going to get the enticing crystal that you want. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to throw this. I'm just going to throw it down the hole. I don't need that recipe anymore. And we are going to say that this soul binder is going to... I'll tell you what, we're going to have an item conduit that runs out. It's going to have a filter, say that you can extract, always active, with a filter, and you can only extract enticing crystals. And you're going to send them back into the crafter. So let me grab that enticing. Didn't we make an enticing crystal at some point? Well, let me go fix this recipe. Let me tell it, instead of taking the soul vial, it's only going to take the emerald. Alright, so we're going to throw that in there. We're going to throw one of these soul vials into there. And there we go. It's going to start running and give us our enticing crystal. No, not the soul vial. Well, I'll hold on to that. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to set in this filter. We're going to say you can only extract enticing crystals, always active. And then we'll throw that back in, and let's get one more filter, and we're going to put an item conduit right here. It's not going to connect there. It's going to extract with a filter, and it's only going to pull out empty soul vials. Okay, so there's that. And then we're going to set up an ender chest here. Do not connect right there. And we're going to say this is white, gray. White, gray, white. And we'll go ahead, insert into that. And then we'll put one more chest down right here. We're going to say this one is gray, white, gray. And pull from that chest. Okay. So then all I got to do is throw all these soul vials into there. We've got 13 basically in the villager system. And here in a second we should see, there we go. We're starting to get villager soul vials, and they're getting pulled over into this soul binder. And then all I have to do is, if I want Vibrantium, I can order, say, send me 20 Vibrantium. Okay? So what it's going to do, it's going to send a bunch of emeralds to this. It's going to start running. I think it can only accept one at a time, but pow, there we go, and we got another one. And there, that's it. So, now if we take a look, now we have 2 Vibrantium. Whoops. And we can throw it into there, and all we really need right now is those HOP. Oh, those HOP things. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Just really, really quickly, because I know we're getting close to wrapping up point. I'm sorry this took a little bit longer today than intended. We didn't actually need the mob dimlet and stuff, so I guess that was kind of a waste. Let's pop over to Mercury. And what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly kind of automate HOP. Or semi-automate. We're still going to have to run it through the squeezer right now, because I haven't bothered to set one of those up. And really, I don't even know that I will, because if I was to make a stack of that HOP, I'm like done with it forever. But we're going to say, you know, you can send all your items to this modular storage, all the cold coke that you get. And this is our light gray, light gray, light gray line. And then if I pop over to the overworld now all I have to do is just grab like a stack of coal coke, come over here to light gray, throw it into there. It's going to get pulled out, and here in just a minute, there we go. See, we're getting coke dust at a fairly reasonable rate at the moment. So there's 16, and then all I have to do, throw that into the squeezer and then smelt it. I might set up a squeezer for like personal use or something, because I mean realistically they're not expensive. I just kind of haven't even bothered with it. So there we go, HOP, graphite, and then we can go smelt it, and we can get 2 more neutronium collectors. And honestly, we're at the point now where I can make the rest of this stuff. I mean, how many solar neutron activators do I have? 38. Let's order like another 20 of those, actually. We'll get that running, and that's going to be just about enough right there to make our full stack of neutronium collectors. Well, I need crystal matrix ingots. That's the only thing. Right now I'm just waiting on nether stars, right? Because once those are done, we're going to have almost enough. I think I have to make like 2 more solar neutron activators. Vibrantium is easy as pie now. HOP is very, very easy as well. So there's that. And there's that. And we can just go set this up. Now, one thing I have noticed that's really, really weird is I cannot... Oh, I can. Earlier, I couldn't pull these out for some reason. It would not allow me to, but it seems to be working all right now. Okay. We'll go ahead and just set those up. Set these to extract, always active. And there we go. So now it's really just kind of continuing on with this stuff. Having Vibrantium automated... Oh yeah, and I almost forgot we have a quest for that too, which is kind of a major quest because of the fact Delta, all quests are now completed in Delta. So we'll go ahead and take our reward bag. We got an epic reward bag with witherproof glass and witherproof blocks in it. Meh. Not even remotely useful. Okay, so we are up to 1, 2, 3, 4 quest lines totally finished now. And honestly, some of these, like, well, not Epsilon. Epsilon's going to take a while to do. But actually, in the next couple episodes, we're going to be setting up something that's going to make the rest of those demon steels super easy. Because I need them for, right now for the Philosopher's Stone. So possibly even next episode, maybe, we might do that. I don't know. I'm not for sure, because I have a lot of projects that I want to work on at the moment. Now, also our to-do list, Vibrantium, that's done now. Okay. I wanted to get souls done this episode, but it's okay. It's really not. Souls isn't going to take very long to set up. So we will do that next episode for sure. And probably zombie heads as well, which both of those will actually be in the prison. I know I said we were going to be working in the prison today, but we didn't get around to it. Anyways, with that, I am going to end it out. I mean, I'm pretty much just making neutron collectors at the moment. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, to stay up to date with when new videos come out. I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys then.